Hi everyone. So I did a thing yesterday. I decided, since I probably only have maybe about a month left for my summer tubbing with the guppies outside, I decided to pull in all the adult males and some of the adult females to give the fry that are out there a chance to really put some good growth on over the next month. So I thought I would just show you some of my males. There's some females in here too. All of these are fish that I've bred except for the big blonde females and the one green swordtail. Those I got from Peter at Mob Guppy, but all the rest of these are guppies I've bred myself. They've turned out really nice. I'm pretty happy with how they're looking. Sorry, trying to get the focus. I figured I would do the video now because there's actually some sun coming through. It's been so hazy here because of the fires. We're safe. There's nothing, we're not in any danger, thankfully. But I just thought I would show the variety that I've got. The dark blues I'm calling blue velvets, and they are a cross between a Japan blue male and a panda female. The rest are kind of some mixes of a few different things I've had over the past year or so. A couple of the males still have some coloring up to do. And then the blonde Japan blue double swordtails are that strain that I started with earlier this year. So I'm really enjoying these. My plan is to breed these males with some of the females from these guys, which they're not in focus, but I'm focusing on these guys right now. That's my ultimate plan, to try to just kind of keep some of this genetics going. I only have 3 tanks, so I have to kind of be choosy in what I pursue. And so I was reading an old article by Midge Hill. Sorry. I was reading an old article from Midge Hill, who was a guppy bigwig back in the 60s and 70s. And she wrote this article called Variety in Guppies When Space is Limited. And I'm kind of using some of the techniques in there. And basically what you do is you have a base strain that you work with, which for me will be these guys. And you get different males, and you breed them to just your base strain females. And then once those have fry, then you keep only the male offspring and you breed them back to your base strain, females each time. So you keep that strain going and you choose new females for them to breed with each time. And if you do that long enough, you end up creating some of your own strains. The theory of this is that you have each different colored male in a different tank. I don't have the tank space for that. So I thought at least I could make a play on that by using the base strain females in this tank. I am going to keep a couple of the other females just so I have the genetics. I've got some Pingu females and what look to be some Panda or Panda cross females. So I'm going to keep a couple of those in there too, just for some of the genetics in there. But I'm going to theoretically breed these to the base strain females, which are the swordtail females, the blonde swordtail females, and see what I get. I definitely still have some fry out in the tubs that are growing out, and so I'm hoping within the next month they'll grow out more, gain some more color, and I'll be able to at least sex them out so I can keep the males in about a month. And hopefully by then I'll also have some of the swordtail juvies growing out enough that I could pick out some females to put into this tank. So just kind of a fun mutt guppies kind of project, but with a purpose and with some intention behind it, so I can just try and kind of move some things forward. This will continue to be an additional males tank for both of my strains. The IFGA style Swordtails and the Gold Blond Japan Blue double Swordtails. But that's kind of my plan, to just kind of keep some of this stuff moving forward. 'Cause I really like these guys. They're really pretty. And I've been working with them, some of them, for about a year now. So I'd like to keep them going, but just gotta work within my limited tank space and what's available. But I kind of try to have at least a plan to move forward, which is a version of that variety in Guppies when space is limited. So just figured I would show some of these guys since we got a little bit more sunlight coming through. The sky's been so foggy with the fires, and the air quality is terrible right now. But again, we're totally safe. We're in a good place that we're not having to worry about evacuations or anything like that. So really grateful for that. I'll show an update of the tubs a little bit later on another day. But I just thought that would give those fry a better chance of having a lot more grow out in the next month or so. I usually have until about Halloween before the temperature really starts getting cooler and I have to bring the guppies in. So I'm hoping that'll be the case this year. But I thought that would just give them the best opportunity to have some decent grow out without the competition of these big females and all the males and everything. I actually still have one more female that I have to pull in. She was wily yesterday, and after I caught out everybody else, she was not having any of it, so I still have to pull her out, but it'll still give them a better chance of less competition with the adults. So that's my update. That was my project for yesterday, just pulling in all these males. In a moment, I already separated out a few males that I'm probably not going to be keeping, so in just a moment I'll show you those. These are kind of my favorites and some of the ones I'll be working with over the fall, and then hopefully them or their offspring will go in one of the tubs next year to kind of continue this project. So hold on one quick second and I'll get you over to the males that I'm probably not going to be keeping, and we'll just check those guys out real quick. So these are some of the males that I'm probably not going to be keeping. A couple of them are ones I've bred myself, and a couple of them are ones that I got from Peter at Mob Guppy. I just kind of settled on a slightly different aesthetic with a couple of other males that I got for breeding the IFGA type Swordtails. And then a couple of the males just aren't showing a lot of color, and so I just figure they're not really worth keeping and working with. Sorry about that, trying to get the focus. But they're very nice. They'll be going to the fish store, and they were also kind of driving. I don't have a ton of females in the main tank right now because I don't have them available, and so they were driving the big blonde swordtail females crazy, kind of literally. They were just harassing them really badly. So I pulled these guys out, the worst of the harassers, so that they wouldn't stress the females out too much, because I don't want to have like an ick outbreak or something from the stress. So they're beautiful fish, just not quite the direction I'm going. So I'll find them new homes. So just thought I'd take advantage of some of the nicer light, and just thought I'd show you some of the males that I've been breeding and working with over the past year, and hopefully we'll get some nice females for them to work with, and that'll be really great. So just in time for the lawn company to start buzzing around. Thanks everyone so much for watching.